everyone, I'm here with 31 Days of Tarot questions 8 to 14 for this week. So I want to thank Ethony again for doing the 31 Days of Tarot challenge, and I really love watching everyone's videos. It's been really informative and it's just fun to see kind of everyone's answers and takes on things, so it's been really cool. So number 8 question is your top 5 decks on your wish list. I don't have a lot of decks on my wish list. I feel like I find out about the new decks last. Like, I mean, I sometimes will see like an unboxing video and be like, oh my god, I want that. And somehow people knew to pre-order it ages ago. Sometimes I'll hear about stuff on Facebook through groups and stuff, but there's not really a ton of things that have piqued my interest. The only pre-orders I have right now is I have a pre-order for the Wonderland Tarot. It's a Llewellyn deck. It's coming out, I think, this spring. And it's an Alice in Wonderland themed deck, so I'm quite excited about that. I've seen a few images, but I don't know a lot about it. But I mean, I really love Alice in Wonderland stuff, so I'm really hoping it'll be good. And then the other one that I pre-ordered was the Game of Thrones Tarot. And again, I'm also hoping that'll be good as well. I've seen a few images of that. But other than that, I don't really have anything on my wish list. Every deck that that's already kind of produced that I've wanted, I have. And I've kind of gone through like a bit of a dip in tarot collecting. Like for a while I was collecting a lot, and then now I'm just kind of like, meh, I'm actually downsizing a little bit. So I don't have a ton of things on my wish list. Question 9, my tarot goals for 2018. My goals for 2018 is I just want to keep reading for people and, you know, keep practicing that. Keep up with my practice, so to speak, and read for people as they want to be read for. And I am working on a little tarot deck for myself, probably. I don't know if I'll put it on Etsy. I might, but I'm working on a little tarot for myself. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably already seen a few images. It's just like made with little doodles. It's not, you know, it's nothing super fancy, but I'm doing that, and I thought that was like kind of like a fun exercise to do. So that's one of my goals for 2018. Question 10 is tarot decks you want to work with more in 2018. If you've followed me for a while, you know I usually pick a deck for the month, and I work with that for a month or so. In January, I'm working with the Revelations Tarot. I've worked with that before. It's one of my favorite decks. The only deck that's kind of like a new deck to me that I'm going to be working with so far for 2018, besides the two I mentioned that I pre-ordered, is the Druidcraft Tarot, which I've had my eye on for a while. I picked it up last year. I got this in, I think, November, December. And I'm going to, you know, work with this sometime in the spring. So that's what I'm really looking forward to working with. And then the next question is tarot decks, or oracle decks, pardon me, to work with in 2018. And again, I pick them month by month. This month I'm working with the Shadows and Light Oracle, which is an old favorite of mine. I'm going to work more, I think, this year with the Sacred Rebels Oracle. I didn't do a lot of work with it last year, barely any, and not too much the year before. But this year I'm really feeling its vibe. Like, it's feminine, but it's got like kind of a bit of a more masculine, very modern kind of vibe to it, which I quite like. So it's definitely not a soft feminine deck. It's a little bit more of a in-your-face feminine deck. So I'm looking forward to working with that one a little bit more. And then, like I said, I kind of pick an oracle deck month by month, so it kind of depends what I pick for the rest of the year. So 12, what started you reading tarot and why do you continue? So I started reading tarot when I was 20, and that's like 23 years ago. I was interested in tarot since I was little. I saw some images of tarot in a book, and I think I was about 10 or something, and I was fascinated by it, and I thought, this sounds really interesting and amazing, but of course I didn't really have access to that stuff. So when I was 20 and I was living on my own, I was in a bookstore, and I saw, it was like a little deck in just like a little box with a little white book, and it was a native themed tarot. And so I got that, and I started reading for friends and practicing, and then I got I think after that I got the Mythic Tarot, and I really just loved it. I continue doing it because I really love doing it. I'm a visual person. I love all the artwork in it. I love symbols, and I love the whole practice of using your intuition and help. To me, it feels like I'm helping others, and I just find it fascinating and interesting, and I find it's a really good way to connect with others, and people seem to really enjoy it. So that's why I continue to do it. Number 13, best worst tarot moments for 2018. Nothing really stands out. I mean, some of the best moments, I think, is just reading for others, and especially when you read for someone and it really helps them out, or that helps them to see something in a new way, gives them a new perspective. Those are always good. So the readings that I did for people, I really enjoyed that and appreciated doing that this past year. So that was a lot of fun, and I did a lot more online readings, and that was really gratifying too, to be able to do that. So that's probably like the best. Worst moments, I would say, and this is not directly like me reading tarot, but it was really sad to see Doreen Virtue call down the tarot and have people like, you know, call it down, and I made a video which I was not expecting to get the response I did about it, and I had like a lot of really good positive responses, but I also had people like saying, you know, really weird sort of mean things to me, and mean things, you know, about reading tarot and stuff, which, you know, I just kind of ignored. But that was kind of like a weird moment. I mean, it's not anything like I did, like there was nothing in particular actually me reading the tarot, but I think that was kind of, I think it was a disappointment for a lot of people. So I would say that was like the worst tarot moment. And then I can't read my writing for number 14. Oh, favorite divination besides tarot. I would say astrology is my favorite divination beside tarot. They're kind of like, I love them both very much, and it's very different than tarot. It's watching sort of the movements of planets in the sky and then comparing that with your birth chart or other people's birth chart, to see kind of what energies are going on. And like tarot, I believe that it doesn't, you know, neither of these things negate free will. They're just kind of showing you what the weather is, if you can say, the emotional weather, and then you can decide what you want to do with that. You can respond positively or negatively. You can handle it well or handle it poorly. That's up to you. Just like if you know it's going to probably rain outside, you might want to take an umbrella with you, or maybe not. You might decide not to, and that's the way I kind of view it. So I really enjoy them because they are quite different, and yet they have there is a relation to each other in them. So astrology is really different. You know, obviously there's no cards involved. You're watching what the planets are doing right now, and then, like I said, comparing it to your birth chart, or just comparing what's going on in the world. And it's more an act of observing, and I really like that. I like, you know, it's got a lot of mathematics involved, but then again, the tarot also has numerology. It has astrological associations as well. So they really kind of, I feel like learning about them, one feeds into the other. I find the symbolism in tarot, you can transfer that to the symbolism of the planets. So there's lots of correlations there, even though they're quite different systems of divination. So those are my answers. I try to keep them, you know, pretty short and sweet. I know some people can do much longer videos about each single question, but those are my short and sweet answers for the questions 8 to 14. So I will see you next week, and if you are doing 31 Days Tarot, let me know so I can check out your video too. I know Ethony, if you go to her channel, she's got a list of people that are doing it, so you can kind of see like everybody who's doing it, so check it out. Anyway, like and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time.